Hey everyone, thanks for signing in. I'm going to show you the easy way to turn a front loader bucket into a forklift and without any welding whatsoever. So the things you're going to need, well, first you got to get the forks. So I got these, they're from surplus from an old fork truck that they didn't need anymore. So that's the biggest thing you got to look for, find those somewhere. Other than that, it's pretty simple. You need 4 lap links, about 2 sections of chain, about 6 foot each, and I would go with 1/4 inch or 5/16 chain of a substantial grade. Don't get anything too cheap. This is 5/16. I just used it. I have 1/4 inch on the other one. It's because I just happen to have this stuff laying around, but you can go down to 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch actually probably works better here where you're seeing some used here. So the way this works is you use 1 lap link to attach a small length of chain through the existing holes on the fork, and then you use another lap link to make this arrangement here, which is a loop with a small pigtail off of it. You need 2 of those, 1 set for each fork. And there's a lap link involved here too. Now, when you buy your chain and your lap links, you might want to zoom in on this a little bit. You want to make sure your lap link is big enough to allow the chain to hook through it end to end. In other words, you don't want it over here on the side. I can't even get it off there because it's bent in there so well. But if you went side to side, this is what's going to happen. That is a lap link that was stretched side to side, and they'll just pull apart. If you don't hook both ends here with one of the links, then this is going to happen. So make sure your lap links are large enough to accommodate that size chain. You're also going to need some tie downs. These are like the same things that the truckers use to tie down their loads with. So you're going to need 2 of those. Now, the best way to handle these, I better get my gloves on here, is I've got this one all rigged up the way it normally is hooked up. That one is taken apart for this video. But I picked these up like this. They're pretty heavy, so you got to do it right. You grab it by turnbuckle here and here, and they're pretty. You can get straight and lift properly, and just set it up in there. So once you have it in there, you flip it over. Now once I have them both in, now you can raise it up to a working level. Okay, so obviously this is not an engineered system. It's never been tested. It should only be used for jobs that if it breaks, whatever you're picking up, if it falls on the ground, it won't hurt anything. It won't hurt the equipment. Don't do this with any personnel in the area that if it failed, it could injure personnel. It's strictly for non-critical type jobs, if you know what I mean, where expect it could break and it's not going to do any damage. I just want to let you know that. Come on around over here. Okay, so on the back side here, we take our tie down and hook it through the lap link so that it's pulling on both of them again. And we take our loop chain, put it over the fork, bring your pigtail around, and then you got to find the notch on the chain that gives you the most tension. They don't always go perfectly, so you kind of got to do trial and error. So that's probably what you got to live with. I'd like to get them a little tighter than that, but I don't think I'm going to get it without really putting too much torque on it. Oh, there, that's not, no, that's the same one. Sometimes they settle in after you use them a little bit and you got to readjust. Let's try that link. There's a good snap down right there. You're not really holding a lot of weight on this. Basically, this is just holding the fork to the bucket, and this chain on the front is just keeping the fork from sliding back and forth. And a lot of the weight is supported by the bucket itself. Now this can be used on skid steers, a backhoe. This one here is my vintage 1972 John Deere, which is the workhorse around here, or even a farm tractor with a front end loader. And this really made a big difference on what I could do with this machine. I had these forks for years, and I thought I saw a couple other guys with rigs that put forks on buckets, and it required welding, and I just let them sit, and I think 20 years they sat, and I finally thought this arrangement up and tried it out, and it works great. So I wish I'd have done it 20 years earlier, but this really increases the capability of the backhoe by almost like 50%. And I'll show you some videos of some of the things that I've done over the years after I've made this rig. So stick around and I'll show you some of the things.